Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am Ken Kitts, President of the University of North Alabama. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the faculty and staff of UNA, I welcome you to this, our 2018 mid-year commencement for the College of Business. Let us begin by bowing our heads for a moment of silence as we give thanks for our many blessings this year and for these special graduates here today. Thank you, and amen. Please remain standing for the national anthem. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, this ceremony represents a very special time for each graduate and his or her family and friends. To maintain the dignity of this distinctive occasion and out of respect for all of our graduates, we ask that you please silence cell phones, refrain from clapping or cheering until the end of the program, and above all, remain seated until the ceremony is ended so that each graduate's name can be heard when announced. Commencement is a celebration of academic attainment. To bring greetings to you from the academic community of the University of North Alabama, it is my pleasure to introduce you to our Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Ross Alexander.
Thank you, President Kitts. I, too, welcome all of you. On behalf of the faculty and staff at the University of North Alabama, I congratulate all of our graduates for this momentous accomplishment. The most recent data indicate that approximately 24% of Alabama residents 25 or older possess a baccalaureate degree or higher. Nationally, the percentage is 30. For graduate degrees, the national average is 12%, with 10% of Alabama residents possessing a graduate degree. Therefore, you can take great pride in earning your degree from UNA as it distinguishes you in the global marketplace. As most of you know, the University of North Alabama enjoys a long history, tracing its origins to LaGrange College, which was established in 1830. This ceremony marks the 151st mid-year commencement. There are 741 in your graduating class this semester. With the addition of this graduating class, you are now part of a total of 61,736 students who have graduated from UNA. Today's graduates represent 22 states, including Alabama, and 12 countries. UNA alumni have forged distinguished careers, including a Pulitzer Prize winner for literature, a Grammy Award winner, 2 Alabama governors, a Texas governor, numerous members of the U.S. Congress, a special assistant to the President of the United States, and numerous leaders in business and public service. Your fellow graduates have gone on to attain distinction in their chosen fields, and I know each of you will do the same. Regardless of your chosen career, I urge each of you to find a way to make a positive impact in your community and in the world. Congratulations to you all. Thank you, and roar Lions.
I would like to introduce now several groups of people who are celebrating this special occasion with you. Please hold your applause until each group has been introduced. Beginning with our stage party, I ask the following individuals to stand when their name is called. Dr. Greg Carnes, Dean of the College of Business. Dr. Kimberly Greenway, Vice President for Student Affairs. Mr. Mark Linder, Director of Athletics. Dr. Debbie Shaw, Vice President for University Advancement. Mr. Evan Thornton, Vice President for Business and Financial Affairs. Dr. Jeff Bibby, Chair of the History Department, who will assist with presentation of the graduates. We're also pleased to be joined by 5 members of our Board of Trustees this afternoon. Mr. Joel Anderson, Mr. Marty Abrams, Mr. Todd Willett, Mr. Steve Pierce, and Mr. Simpson Russell, who serves as President Pro Tem of the Board. Continuing on the front row, Mr. Ron Patterson, Chief Enrollment Officer and Assistant to the President for Diversity. Mr. Charles Anderson, who will be formally recognized later in the program. Dr. Jimmy Shaw, our guest speaker, who will be formally recognized later. Dr. Ross Alexander, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. And Dr. Scott Infanger, Faculty Senate President and Mace Bearer. Please join me in welcoming our stage party. I'd like to note that this afternoon we are also joined by faculty from the College of Business. Colleagues, thank you for your participation and attendance this afternoon. Also, many members of the UNA staff are scattered throughout this room and working very hard behind the scenes to facilitate this commencement exercise. We're also joined by members of the UNA Wind Ensemble, and we're honored to have Mrs. Hilda Anderson and other members of the Anderson family with us this afternoon. Now turning attention to our guest speaker. Your commencement program lists Alabama Speaker of the House Mac McCutcheon as our featured speaker this afternoon. Unfortunately, some unforeseen medical circumstances arose that have prevented Speaker McCutcheon from being able to join us today. We are most honored and thankful that one of our distinguished alumni, Dr. Jimmy Shaw, who spoke at last night's ceremony, was willing to do triple duty and speak at both of our ceremonies today as well. Dr. Shaw's cooperation and willingness to step in on short notice exemplifies the very best of the UNA spirit. Now, graduates, Dr. Shaw has not 1, not 2, but 3 degrees from this institution: bachelor's, master's, and education specialist. And then he went on to receive his doctorate of education from Samford University. Dr. Jimmy Shaw has 18 years of experience in the field of education, with the past 12 of those coming in an administrative capacity. He currently serves as superintendent of the Florence City School System, and additional biographical details are noted in your commencement program. Dr. Shaw and his wife Felicia are the proud parents of 3 sons, and we're delighted that he could be here to speak with you today. So please join me in giving a warm University of North Alabama Lion welcome and a welcome home to Superintendent Jimmy Shaw.
Good afternoon. Thank you to President Kitts, our Provost, our trustees, our faculty, our staff, University of North Alabama, other public officials, the families of the graduates and friends, my family for allowing me the time to be here, and finally to the stars of the show, the fall graduates of 2018. I'm honored to be able to stand before you to give this commencement address. The first time that I sat in those seats was May the 12th of 2001. I remember the feelings very well from that day. I remember the feeling of accomplishment that I had. I remember the feeling of relief that I had. But one thing I do not remember is who the commencement speaker was. Do not remember much except they were fairly short and they were inspirational. I have degrees from other institutions. I do not remember who the commencement speakers were. The only thing I can tell you is whether they were very long and made it about them or very direct and to the point and made it about the graduates. So this is about your day with your families and your accomplishments. So we're going to cut it short and let it be about you. The subject I'll speak about today is a gentleman by the name of Simon Sinek. He's an author and a speaker who wrote a book, and the center of one of his books is about something he calls his golden circles. So if you can imagine, I don't know if you ever played darts, the rings on a dartboard. So the largest outer circle on this dartboard would be a what circle. The next circle would be a how circle, and then the bullseye will be the why circle. So let's first talk about the what circle, what you do. Whatever profession that you choose, whatever degree that you have today, whatever you pursue in this life to do to make a living, I want you to understand that really we all have the same job. Like really our job is to serve other people. It doesn't matter if you're an engineer, if you're a robotics person, it doesn't matter if you're a teacher. Like all of our jobs have to do with doing things in order to be able to serve our fellow man in our society. Your job, my job, is service. You may serve as a nurse or an administrator, law enforcement, or business exec, but do not be fooled by your title. Your job is service. The second circle is the how circle. That really is what you've learned to do here at the University of North Alabama. Now, I will tell you from what I do for a living as an administrator, you learn a great deal here in this institution, and you have great professors that you learn from. You don't learn everything you need to know. Some things you can really only learn by fire. But the how to do what you do, you all are well equipped to walk into any organization from the education that you receive at the University of North Alabama. That's the how. So the how's out of the way. What's left is the bullseye. What's left is the how or the why. Why do you do what you do? This is the critical question. As it was put to me once before, this is your so what. Like, so what that you're going to be a school administrator? So what does that mean for the rest of society? What does that mean for the world at large? Well, what it means is that you have a harder desire to do a thing out of two ways. Either your so what is driven by a calling, or your so what is driven by an employment. Either you do what you do because you've been called to do it, or you simply do what you do because you're employed to do it. Employed people, let me give a caveat here. There is nothing wrong with employment. I was employed as a factory worker when I went to TJ's, when I was going to UNA here. I bring that up because one of my board members in the audience, so I don't want them to get it wrong. I like being employed. Nothing wrong with having a job. But you should not have a job just to have a job. Employed people do the work that they do because they have a contract. Basically, the ends justify the means when people are driven by the employment. They receive wages for what they do. Employed people have a list of tasks that they do every day. They go to the job, they do the task, when the time's up, they leave. They don't give extra time. It's nothing about coming in early. Employed people don't stay late. Employed people simply have a skill set. They bring that skill set to the marketplace. It fills a need, and they go about their day. Employed people work off the premise that we have an agreement that I will perform said task for said compensation. I do not agree to do any more or any less than the contract says, and I will not accept any less compensation than what the contract says. What we have is a mutually beneficial agreement. Called people do things for a different reason. Called people, as you may have heard before, you would do something for free if you've been called to do it. That is correct. If you are really called to do something, you probably already do it for free. You may do other things very well, but this call thing fills your extra time. It fills your dreams. It fills your heart. Like, that's what drives you. When you do a thing that you call to do, it gives you life. But the way you go about doing it gives life to other people around you. When you do a thing that you're called to do, like, other people sit back and see the artistry that happens when you do the task that you've been called to do. It brings you joy and fulfillment. It brings you peace inside. You may work very hard and work your fingers to the bone, but it's almost like doing no work at all. It is what your heart desires to do. No matter the path you take, your life will always bring you back to your calling. And while an employee relationship is mutually beneficial, when you're called to do something, you simply have a purpose to fulfill. I can quit my employment at any time. I cannot quit my calling. I may take breaks, but I always come back to it. Now, whether you have a job because you are called or employed, we need to be careful that we don't spend our life, as the old saying goes, you don't spend your life trying to make a living so much that you forget to make a life. We are more than finding employment. We are more than getting titles or attaining stuff. All three things are important. What I gained at the University of North Alabama allowed me to be able to acquire titles. It allowed me to be able to acquire a home, a car. It allowed me to be able to take care of my 3 sons and my wife. So no knock on employment for stuff, but life is really bigger than just the stuff you have or the titles you hold. You have a degree now, and soon you will have a title if you don't already have one. But don't miss the call. Birds have stuff, like birds build nests and have homes. Squirrels gather food and they have stuff. Wolves even establish titles. I mean, there's an alpha wolf in every pack. So like even animals have the low-level stuff. But don't miss the call. My point is that at the end of the day, I have a wife and 3 kids and I need the stuff. But I was built for more than stuff. I was built for more than a title. I was built for a specific purpose. I have a calling and so do you. So ask yourself, what is your calling? Once you figure out what that calling is, it's going to take more than just knowing what it is. It's going to actually take courage. Courage, in my opinion, is lacking in today's society. There are not many people that have the courage to step out of the box and do the thing that they know that they are called to do. Ideas are plentiful, but it takes more than ideals to move the world. Motivational speeches are great, but motivational speeches don't get it done. It takes somebody with the courage willing to step out and do a thing. It takes courage to do what it is that you are called to do and do it at a high level. As I come to a close, I'm going to give you a little story about a gentleman that taught geography here some time back. The guy's name was Gary Green. Called him Tall Pine. I never could get above a B in his class. I made a couple C's. Never could get by that. But he had a class once called Geography of the South. And part of this class where you were supposed to get family recipes and put things together, but one of the big parts of the class where you were supposed to get a tape recorder and record your parents. And I know many of the graduates here probably have never put your hands on a tape recorder, but we walked around these big rectangular tape recorders and cassette tapes and recorded people. So I did not complete the task. I did not complete the assignment. I recorded my mom, but I did not record my dad. So my dad passed away about 11 years ago. And it's funny. He was right. Tall Pine was right. I really can't remember what my dad's voice sounds like. I kind of remember, but I remember some of the things he said, and I definitely remember the way he made me feel. When this commencement speech is over, you will not remember my voice. But I hope you hold on to a thing or two that I said. But more importantly, I hope you hold on to the way you feel today. I hope you hold on to that feel of the power that you can accomplish things and that you have a calling that you can move the world. I'll end with a short part of a poem, and it says, I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Graduates, you have approached the fork in the road, and you have a decision to make, even today. And that decision is whether you will chase the employment or will you chase the true calling. What I hope and pray is that you have the courage to chase the calling. The stuff will always be there, but the calling is what will change the world. God bless. Roar Lions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shaw. We are proud to call you a friend and an alumnus of the University of North Alabama. It is my pleasure to again introduce the UNA Wind Ensemble and Miss Jessica Rice for a musical selection.
As the storm clouds gather
Keller Key Award was established as a memorial to the late President James Albert and Mrs. Mariglyn Keller. A Keller Key is presented at each commencement to the honor graduates who, on the basis of having earned all credits for the bachelor's degree at this university, have made the highest scholastic average. For the mid-year commencement, the summer and fall graduates are combined to determine the Keller Key recipient. Will the marshals please escort to the platform the following recipients of the Keller Key for this ceremony? Mr. Alexander James Gould and Ms. Abigail Michelle Sides. It's a surprise, folks. Mr. Gould completes the Bachelor of Business Administration degree with a major in finance. Ms. Sides completes the Bachelor of Business Administration degree with a major in accounting. For this semester, qualifying for the Keller Key meant having a grade point average of at least 4.0 on a scale of 4.0. Please join me in congratulating these fine students. Mr. Charles Anderson, please come forward, sir. It is my pleasure to present, on behalf of the University of North Alabama, a citation to Mr. Charles Anderson. The citation reads as follows: You are a lifelong resident of Florence, but your prestigious business career led to connections throughout the United States and across the world. It would be impossible to measure the positive impact that your entrepreneurial spirit, your philanthropy, and your community service and leadership have had on the Shoals area and on this university. Your dedication to family and your corporate success are commendable and of great distinction. You are a true gentleman of grace and integrity who has used your personal blessings of this life to support education, medical research, business innovation, and various charitable causes. We are most proud to honor you as a native son, alumnus, and friend. We join with other organizations such as the Alabama Business Hall of Fame, the Alabama Academy of Honor, and the Horatio Alger Association in recognizing the volume of your life's accomplishments.
Therefore, as a sign of our high esteem for you and of our deep respect for the values that define your character, your distinguished career, and the quality of your achievements, it is with great pleasure that the University of North Alabama, by the unanimous action of its Board of Trustees, confers upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Business with all of the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations, Dr. Anderson. The Dean of the College of Business will now present candidates for the conferral of their respective degrees. Would Dr. Greg Carnes please come forward?
As you are able, would candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration please stand and remain standing? President Kitts, it is with great pleasure that I present these candidates to you for the conferral of their degree.
Through the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees for the University of North Alabama, I now bestow upon each of you the Master of Business Administration degree. Congratulations. Please be seated.
As you are able, would candidates for the following undergraduate degrees in the College of Business please stand and remain standing: Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. President Kitts, it is with great pleasure that I present these candidates to you for the conferral of their degree.
Through the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees for the University of North Alabama, I now bestow upon each of you your respective baccalaureate degree. Please move the tassel from the right edge to the left edge of your cap. Congratulations. Please be seated. Thank you, Dean Carnes. Graduates. You entered Flowers Hall as students just moments ago, and now you are alumni of the University of North Alabama. And in that regard, UNA Alumni Association President Derek Chapman will come to the podium to extend greetings. Mr. Chapman.
Good afternoon. Graduates, smile. First, to President Dr. Kitts and Board of Trustees, thank you for affording me the opportunity to have the National Alumni Association address the graduation class of 2018. I appreciate you to stand amongst this body of people to engage and celebrate the graduates before their diploma. So on one hand, it is intimidating, but at the same time, it's inspirational. If it looks like I'm nervous, I am. As I look back to my graduation from UNA, it was exactly 10 years ago that I sat and listened to my commencement speech. I never thought or could have imagined I would be on stage speaking to graduates. As I look back over my graduation, I'd like you to take a trip down memory lane to reflect and reminisce on what made you choose the University of North Alabama. For some, you are a legacy graduate and followed in the footsteps before you. For some, this is your hometown, and/or this was your only choice. Some made a decision sitting in this gym at Preview Day. Your decision makes up the building blocks of your college story. The growth that you have had from your first day to now is exponential. Your education is not just about what happens inside of the classroom. In some ways, you're able to exemplify education out of the realm of theory to utility and practice. You have learned to become proficient at what I call intangible treasures. For instance, personal development. You have cemented your values and your belief systems. Your discernment for your inner circle has sharpened. Some of the people in your group and the things you did as a freshman, you don't associate yourself with anymore. Personal development has been learned by trying new things, trial and error, reflection, and awareness of oneself. You have learned what your purpose in life is, what you're most passionate about, and even discovered talents that you never knew about yourself. Critical to your personal development is the understanding that failure is essential for growth. How you bounce back from setbacks determines your development and aspirational goals. Learning from mistakes. Tested through time and still holding true. Learning through your experience and mistakes remains one of the best ways to learn. Thomas Edison said, "I have not failed. I found 10,000 ways that don't work." Your concept or perspective and perception can change your outlook on life. Every mistake gets you a step closer to success. You have had situations arise and didn't go in your way, but you were resilient, overcame impediments and obstacles, and adapted to the situation. Time management. College life is a true crash course in efficient time management. To be a productive student and also have a social life takes time management. There's probably been some times where you need to continuous improvement, especially when you had the decision to either study for a test or party with your friends. We're learning that procrastination can be a blessing or a curse. It is said procrastination is like a credit card. It's a lot of fun until you get the bill. Graduates, as you get more involved in your community, meeting more people, and committing to more things, make sure that you stay productive, as it is key to being successful. These are just a few intangible treasures you have become proficient. As you matriculated through the college ranks, either from undergraduate or graduate, you have made it to your milestone of graduation. I would like to introduce you to just one more class before you go. We can call this academic endeavor past, present, and future. From history to your story. Class number, UNA 1830. It's a self-paced, independent class. Credit out, 1. Professor, your internal conscience. This class is involuntary in nature. Syllabus, to reflect and reminisce over the tenure as a student at UNA. To tell your story of your time in college and to encourage and equip prospective students for their next chapter in life. I have learned that you will truly never know how much impact, directly or indirectly, you can have in someone's life. Through sharing your life skills you have mastered, being a sounding board to listen to one's burdens, or giving an embracing hand to help someone. It only takes one person to change your life forever. As you start your professional career and or progressing for promotion, remember your intangible treasures. As being a member of the Alumni Association, you're truly an ambassador for our university. Anytime you tell a family member about a past college experience, wearing your college paraphernalia to work for Casual Friday, or come back to campus for a university event, you are passing the course. As I close, I will leave you with a luminous line that arrested my attention. I quote this individual, who is a poet, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and 3-time Grammy Music Award winner. Some people know him as Aubrey Graham from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. But most people know him as Drake. Drake in his new album stated, "I'm the chosen one. Flowers never pick themselves." Now, I'll park here parenthetically for those who never gave or received flowers. We do know that flowers that blossom beautifully had to start as a seed and germinate. Any flower that blossoms had to go through some dirt. The dirt gives them growth and maturity. The roots had to expand for a foundation. A flower can go through different seasons through their development process. It can be a change of weather, change of people, change of surroundings. Graduates, as you look at yourself, you have made it through difficult times and traversed through terrains of setback and naysayers who said you wouldn't make it. Your struggles along the way have shaped you for your purpose. Flowers traditionally make an emotional impact on us and provide comfort and consideration. As you go through life's journey of responsibility, you have the ability, more so the obligation, to impact someone's life for future knowledge and wisdom. Flowers don't pick themselves. Your day to be chosen is today. Look around Flowers Hall and see those who will come support you on your special day. You have family, friends, hopefully some hiring managers, HR personnel wanting qualified, well-rounded, educated professionals. The crowd is the florist, looking for flowers to be pecked, to impact this world and have a continued support for UNA and Alumni Association. Fall class of 2018, the first Division I graduation. May you continue to prosper and continue down the avenue of success and greatness. And as the childhood nursery rhyme said it best, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Roar Lions.
Thank you very much, Derek, and I'm glad that he pointed out the history-making nature of this class. You are our first class as a Division I institution. This is also the first commencement ceremony in this beautifully newly renovated facility of Flowers Hall, the first facelift 50 years in this building. Even what you're wearing, the first year that we've moved to commencement regalia that features the school colors, and you do look amazing, by the way. So, graduates, we come now to the point in the program where we've had our time on the stage, and now it's your time. Are you ready to get on with it? All right, let's do then. Will the marshals conduct the candidates to the platform? You will note that Dean Carnes will offer congratulations as our graduates exit the stage. Again, everyone, please remain seated until the ceremony has ended so that each graduate's name can be heard when announced.
Jason Tyler Mills. Boyd Lammers. Emerson Terrell Williams. Brandon Alton Gay. Sarah Grace Harper. Alexandria Mackenzie Hopkins. Heather Christine Roth. Tiffany Lee Hale. Jasmine Nicole Jackson. Jory Elizabeth Chapman. Hiral Gentilal Patel. Ajay Kumar Shalishbai Patel. Tara Britley May. Rachel Victoria Hughes. Sheila Brazil Renfro. Matthew James Steffen. Aaron Cantrell Barker. Najong Lee. Yiming Wang. Shuye Zhang. Uru Wang. Chong Zhao. Alan Carlton Sharrow. Keisha Marie Fuller. Sumalia Amike. Taylor Matthew Walker. Kobe Thomas Littrell, summa cum laude. Michael Reed Elkins. Devin Trey Pace. Stephen Andrew Frederick. Joanna Diane Copeland. Stephanie Marie Waybright, cum laude. Amber Nicole Abrams. Tia Shea Stone. Britton Presnell Davis Watson. Chiazor Harrison. John Leslie Knight. Randall H. Haynes. Allison Delana Barksdale. Andrew Joshua Sutherland. Nathaniel Bryant Pruitt. Bikram Gill. Mona. Himanshu Kant. Rebecca Kent. Sheila Denise Akins. Sharon D. Kirby. Rayburn Glenn Bowles. Richard Landell Holland. Emmanuel Ndingwang. Sarah Elizabeth Lale. George William Anderson, Jr. Lawrence Williams. Jakia Learin Gunn. Tequila Matzi. Jessica Nicole Young. Christopher Robert Drensick, cum laude. Tyler Ryan Hartzell. Carter James Cothran. Alex Kyle Hanna. John Aaron Wade. Nicholas Scott Holly, summa cum laude, Honors College. Shelby Renee Patterson. Anna Elizabeth Greenhill. Emily Ann Potts. Stephen Daniel Seagroves. Taylor Mackenzie Arnold. Brittany Antoinette Isabella Sturkey. Katoria Dawn Grissom. Margaret Elizabeth Killen, magna cum laude. Latiga Brianna Burgess. Byron McMath II. Lori Ann Keplinger. Jasmine Linnell Anderson. Ansley Rose Oldag, cum laude. Caitlin Renee Bishop. Carly Faith Cole, magna cum laude. Kevin LaShawn Wright. Kimberly Nicole Parker, magna cum laude. Danielle Nicole Mitchell. Matthew Seth Foster. Silas Luke Jennings. Christopher Kyle Gibson, magna cum laude. Alva Isabella Rose Martinez, magna cum laude, Honors College. Christopher William Witt. Christian Lee McAllister. Jeremiah Thaddeus Hogan, magna cum laude. Joji Tagami. Siwei B. Zachary Thomas Armstrong. Kyle Chandler Wallace II. River Zane Laurent. Bailey Jean Peterson. Alexander James Gould, summa cum laude, Honors College. Jonathan Daniel Bew, summa cum laude. Heidi Lynn Hudson. Megan Elizabeth Johnson, summa cum laude, Honors College. Carrie Ann Methvin, summa cum laude. Katie Elizabeth Methvin, summa cum laude. Quanisha Janae Trammell, magna cum laude. Kelsey Lynn Rush, summa cum laude. Abigail Michelle Sides, summa cum laude. Brittany Nicole Knight. Blair Brianna Solly, magna cum laude. Kara Lee Duckett. Casey Lane Elliott. Chief Bob Magruder, magna cum laude. Jordan Lee Eddy, magna cum laude. Quintus Sean Rowlett. Jalen Devon Green. Frank Jr. Williams. Lyles Hugh Hillhouse. Matt Thomas Markham. Brandon Allen Postel. Justin Wayne Franks. Benjamin Douglas Reed, cum laude. Cody Russell Kilgore. Jacob Stanley Watkins. Morgan Leanne Jenkins. Catherine Diane Roberts. Tyler James Bailey. Stephen Landon Tall. Charles Robert Blackard. Blair Ray Thompson. Cody Scott Nix. Reyes Lennar Anderson. Juan Nicholas Deshawn Taylor. Jana Lee Morgan. Tiana Nicole Hollingsworth. Destiny Lynn Matthews, magna cum laude. Taylor Winston Hogan. David J. Barrett. Jordan Eric Smith. Allison Cheney Ferris. Benjamin Allen Ish. Wendy Monet Phillips. Chandler Dale Spain.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we honor all of these graduates with a well-deserved round of applause. There seem to be a great many people in this room that care about you deeply. And I don't think it's any secret that many people have helped and supported you as you've reached this goal of graduation today. And so now, graduates, I invite you to help me show our appreciation to them. At this time, I would ask all the parents and grandparents of the graduates, please stand and be recognized. Thank you, thank you. And now let's recognize the spouses and children of the graduates. Spouses and children, be recognized. And finally, friends and other relatives. Friends and other relatives, please be recognized. Graduates, truly, we commend you for your hard work, personal sacrifices, and the perseverance that brings you here today. I want you to know, and I say this from the heart, we're proud of you, as are your families and friends. And as you leave this university, I have but one request as your president, and that is take UNA with you wherever you go. Take UNA with you wherever you go. And years from now, when you run into fellow alumni, greet them with that hearty "Roar Lions," and know that we send our very best wishes with you. I would like to thank Dr. Ross Alexander, Dr. Greg Carnes, Mr. Ron Patterson, and Dr. Jeff Bibby for their assistance in today's program. And I remind the recipients of the Keller Key Award to come to the stage immediately following the recessional for publicity photos. And now, if everyone would please rise for the playing of the alma mater, and please remain standing for the recessional.